I'm AgroBlaze96.
And I'm the Woodshed, and welcome to the AgroShed Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the AgroShed Podcast. I'm joined here with my beautiful co-host.
AgroBlaze96, flicking his hair.
Man, let me tell you, I can't say what that looked like. But y'all know. I feel bad for the Spotify crowd when we do something stupid like that.
Oh, I know. I hate that they never get to see like all the goofy shit we do. Come check us out on YouTube if you listen on Spotify.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, today we're going to continue the sports theme. Spoiler alert for going forward. We're going to for the next couple weeks as well.
Yep.
Sports is hot. I just lost a lot of money betting today, so we're going to keep doing sports.
I did not get to bet today. I'm kind of taking it as a blessing in disguise.
I got shafted, bro. I had the Yankees win, Aaron Judge to get a hit, and them to have like 8.5 over. And the Yankees went into extra innings with the Angels 1-0 and lost.
What?
Yeah, bro. I was like, man, when I put that bet together, I was like, okay, well, this is going to be the give me. I'm going to take this one on the chin if it doesn't happen. And then, and it was two guys with like a 4 ERA pitching. So I was like, oh, dude, that's just bombs away. It's just,
bro.
That's
crazy. Yeah, actually just getting hosed. That's wild.
I got hosed. The only thing that happened is Aaron Judge got a hit. That was the only thing that happened.
I mean, dude, that's crazy. 1-0?
1-0 in extra innings with two guys of like a 4 ERA or close. I think one was like 3.7, one was just over 4.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. That's actually crazy.
It was shenanigans. Anyway, we're doing hockey today. We're doing NHL. Now, we are going to preface this one. This is going to be our least knowledgeable sport. Shout out to Zach's wife, Carly, who did help with some of these questions that's going forward. I know little to nothing about hockey. I've dated a woman or two that has enjoyed hockey. So I understand the basic mechanics of it. I know who some really good players are or who were. I don't know how many of them are still around. And that's kind of my extent of knowledge. What about you, Zach?
I mean, I know a little bit about hockey. Carly and I watch it together quite regularly. Since she's like such a big fan of the sport, like, you know, she turns it on. Like, I'll be laying in bed, like watching Flesh and Blood, and I end up watching hockey because it's on. So I feel like I've ended up learning a little bit about it. But yeah, I mean, mine, I would not call like hockey's probably like the thing I know the least about out of like the big like 5 or 6 sports that, you know, you talk about. So this week's episode should be interesting. But I have done something a little bit fun. I have taken some questions, some like very what I would call basic beginner. I looked up a hockey quiz for kids questions today. Okay. And Kyle is going to try and get them right. Now, I know in the past that our questions have been like, oh, Kyle's been like, hey, how about this? And I've just been trying to figure out the answer. Today, we're going to make it a little bit more interesting. We've got multiple choice going on. Since Kyle and I know so little about hockey, it seemed only fair to be doing multiple choice. So we've got 11 multiple choice questions for Kyle. And then some of them we kind of like take a little bit further to talk about. But before we jump into our questions, let's talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs right now. Let's talk about the finals and what's going on.
Okay.
So right now, the Florida Panthers is up 3-2 on the Edmonton Oilers. And I think game 6 is tomorrow night. So
it's probably already over as you guys are watching this, by the way.
Yeah.
Go out till Saturday.
Yeah, no, like I more than likely like we already know who won the Stanley Cup by the time this comes out. But Kyle, who do you got? Who do you think's taking game 6?
Taking at Florida.
Florida? So it's over. Yeah. All right. So Florida wins in 6. I'm telling you, I'm pulling for Edmonton. I don't like Florida. Why? Because Carly doesn't like Florida, and I don't know enough about hockey.
Okay, why?
Because Carly doesn't like them. She says they're a bunch of jerks.
So I have a question.
Okay.
I have a couple random questions I want to sprinkle in.
Oh, go ahead. Shoot. Yeah. Let's go.
So I got Panthers. He's got Oilers. He's just hoping. Zach, why don't you think you like hockey that much? Why aren't you that privy to it? Why haven't you paid that much attention to it?
I just think it wasn't that big, like in Tennessee growing up. It just wasn't very popular. It wasn't something that like our families did or like, you know, I don't know. Just where I grew up, regionally, I just think it was one of those things. Like we ice skated once or twice a year, you know, in the winter, like at the local rink, but that was it. So I don't dislike hockey. I just don't think I was exposed to it very much. So
he's got a good point for everybody who's saying Nashville Predators, by the way. We grew up on the other side of Tennessee.
Very top right-hand corner. Very top right-hand corner.
Like his house is 30 minutes from the North Carolina line. Maybe an hour from where you live where you live now, but like
Yeah, probably about something like that.
very close to the North Carolina border. So very opposite. So not that side, right?
Yep,
Not nowhere close to it.
for sure.
I'm the same way. I will say, as I got older, because I moved to the greater Chicagoland area as a teenager, right? So I was exposed to hockey because like they have the Chicago Blackhawks, and they won a Stanley Cup a couple of years after we moved there, right?
Okay, nice.
Um, so hockey is huge there. I am absolutely a sports elitist.
Okay,
So I'm very particular about sports, and when they have like loose rules, it pisses me off.
okay.
And hockey doesn't have a lot of hard set rules. Because you know what you can do in hockey? You can throw hands and they'll let you. Exact. What the fuck was that?
I
Just
was I
making us
don't.
look bad.
They were fighting. I don't know. Fuck off, dude.
And I think my biggest issue is like, because I love football because there's a spot for everybody, right? Whether you're big, fat, right, really skinny,
Sure.
as long as you're not 5'4", you can play football.
Mm-hmm.
Even basketball, same principle, right? Although that does favor obviously tall guys, faster guys, but there's a spot
Sure.
for everybody, right? Muggsy Bogues being the best example. Baseball, my favorite sport because I think literally, regardless of what you do, you can be fast, you can be strong, you can be none of it, and still be great. Hockey is just a whole bunch of people beating the shit out of each other on ice, in my mind.
That's what I like about hockey. You go to a fight and see a hockey game. Like that's how I feel about hockey.
I don't want that. You know what's the only time I've been okay watching people throw down in hockey? And it's only ever happened a couple times. It's two goalies were talking shit, and they threw down their gloves and skated the entire length of the rink to each other and met in
Now,
the middle.
I have to admit that's pretty baller. Yeah, I don't know. Did you know? And this isn't even one of my questions, but something I learned recently. There's a rule in hockey in the NHL that if you get into a fight and you draw blood from the other person, you have to spend more time in the penalty box.
I did not know that.
That is actually a rule. I swear to God. Carly was telling me about it the other day, so thought that was pretty fucking cool. I
Um,
love that.
was Carly your introduction to hockey?
I mean, I went to a hockey game with like mom when I was a kid. Like we went to like an Atlanta, whatever the hell those hockey teams called, game when
Yeah.
I was a kid. But like other than that, like yeah, pretty much. Like I didn't really watch a lot of hockey. I just like Carly was like, "Oh, I'm a Penguins fan," and I was like, "Cool." They have
Do you have
sticks, right?
Do you have a favorite team?
I mean, I watched the Predators for a while when I was in college, but like I probably just the Penguins because Carly likes them. I don't know. Like if I had to pick somebody, I'd say the Predators, just because I followed them a little bit when I was in
Just home
college.
and hometown, right? As
One
close
hundred
as it gets.
percent. Yeah, 100%.
Um, so I'll give some kind of. What was the first question I asked you right there?
Who's my favorite team? I think.
So, and when were you exposed? So again,
Yeah.
I because we moved to Chicago, my family wanted to do some of the touristy shit, right? So I did go see a Blackhawks game when I was like a teenager, right?
Okay.
It was so. It was a cooler experience than I thought it was going to be, but I still don't care that much about hockey. I couldn't follow the game, so I was there
Sure.
for the shenanigans.
Yeah.
My first real experience that got me interested in hockey, even a little bit. Well, this is going to be a wild throwback, and for anybody who knows this name, shout out to you. There was a guy who was a Minecraft YouTuber who was doing a variety Let's Play, and he did an NHL Let's Play.
Huh.
And he
Really?
went from Minecraft to like one of the NHL games, and I downloaded the game because I was like, "Damn, he's doing this." I don't know nothing about hockey. It looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
And so I played one of those, and that also leads into my favorite team. I also picked the Predators a little bit because like hometown team,
Sure.
because I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
mind Chicago and North Carolina is cool, but I like Tennessee better. But my second favorite team was his, which is the Canadians.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. The Montreal Canadiens, I think, is what they're called.
Yeah.
Or
So
I
I'm a
think
fan
I
of the
don't
two most
remember.
successful sports franchises in the
Okay. Hey,
world.
listen. No shame. No shame,
One of
dude.
those is real though. One of those I'm like a real fan, not just like a whatever. One of
I
those
mean,
is a real fan.
listen, I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it. It's kind of one of the joys of like getting to just like jump into something late and cherry pick. You know, you
Yeah.
don't you don't
Uh,
pick something at a young age, so you get to be like, you know what? I like these people now.
Shout out Vintage Beef, by the way. He was the guy who did it. He wants from Minecraft
Okay.
and all those guys. And he, when they had Minecraft servers of just big, huge guys. I think he even did Hermitcraft for a little while.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Um, huge shout out to him because he was the one I saw do the Let's Plays. I was like, that's kind of cool.
I will have to say, I did not think you were going to tell me tonight that you got your like intro to hockey from a Minecraft YouTuber. So there's
a
that.
Minecraft YouTuber, right? Fucking wild, right? But that was so awesome though. I do remember that very vividly. Shout out.
That's pretty cool. Honestly, that's pretty cool. All right. Are you ready for the first question?
Probably not.
Go ahead. So we have 11 questions. You have multiple choice A, B, or C as options and answers. Out of 11 questions, knowing that like 9 of the 11 questions are literally from a child's hockey quiz, how many do you think you're going to get right?
I'll probably get like 7.
7? Okay, hold him to it. We're aiming for 7 out of 11. Okay, the very first question. And if you get this wrong, we're just cutting the episode off and we're deleting the YouTube channel. What is
Everybody
the name?
Look at how long the episode is. You can just end it here.
What is the name of the NHL trophy awarded to the playoff champion? You have okay. All right. Cool. Thank God. All right. So the answers were A, the Calder
Stanley Cup,
B, the Stanley Cup, or C, the Vezina Cup. Which I have no idea where they came from.
That sounds so made up.
Those were like literally answers that were on the quiz that I was taking. So anyway, Kyle's 1 for 1 so far. We're going to take this a step further. Do you know where the name, the Stanley Cup, comes from?
Old man Stanley Johnson.
Okay, nice try. No. The cup, no, there is no choices. This is just like an add-on of information that I'm throwing at you here.
This isn't a real question.
I will tell you when we get to question 2. This is just bullshit I'm giving you because I think it's fun.
Big Dick Stanley.
The cup's donor was a Governor General of Canada, and his name was Frederick Arthur, Lord Stanley of Preston. So that's how we got the name Stanley Cup. The look on your face.
Can I just say fuck you, Canada, and that governor?
For everybody watching on Spotify, I'm so sorry. You just missed Kyle's facial expression. It was fucking amazing.
Because I was like, oh, his name's got to be Stanley, right? No, this guy is Lord Duke Stanley the 13th.
Yeah, he was Lord Stanley of Preston.
Lord Stanley.
Lord Stanley
after the guy. It's named after a position the guy had.
Yeah, Lord Stanley of Preston. Yeah, and it's named the Stanley Cup because he was the first donor.
Question.
All right, question 2. What NHL player has the nickname The Great One? You have A, Gordie Howe, B, Wayne Gretzky, or C, Sidney Crosby?
It's Wayne Gretzky, no?
It is Wayne Gretzky. Yes, it is.
Greatest hockey player
You know
ever.
what? While we're sitting here, I want to know, how did he get that name? How did Wayne Gretzky not get so many assists? Good Lord. Gretzky get named the Great One. Let's see.
The greatest ever.
The Great One, after a reporter suggested it in a newspaper article about him at the age of 10.
Wow.
Interesting. At the age of 10. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of baller. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
You know, I'm not going to lie. So I think I'm over prepared for this quiz with just what little knowledge I already had. Because I was like, fuck, is he going to put Ovechkin? Is that going to be part of this? Fuck, I don't remember if it's him or Crosby. And then I heard Wayne Gretzky. I was like, I'm an idiot. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, no. Ovechkin is a name I do know. But don't worry. They get harder. Those were the give-me's. Those were the layups. We're going to we're taking a solid 8-footer here on this next one, okay? Solid 8-footer.
Oh, sure.
And then after that, we step to the fucking logo. So
Run it.
All right, question 3. The Oilers had a dynamic duo in the 80s. Who was it? Option A, Gretzky and Curry. Option B, Gretzky and McTavish. Or option C, Messier and Hughes.
B.
No. I put 2 of them in there with Gretzky to throw you off. It was A, Gretzky and Curry, not Gretzky and McTavish.
Man, I can't believe that Steph Curry's dad played hockey too.
I know, right? Yeah, so Kurri, and apparently they were named the dynamic duo in the 80s because of their chemistry on the ice and how well they passed the puck back and forth.
They were a dynamic duo because the greatest player ever played with him and made the other guy look really good. Oh man, you won't believe it. If you put Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss together, it looks like a dynamic duo. Well, yeah, you have to leave one of them alone.
I love
Somebody's gonna look fucking nasty.
that anytime we're going to compare anything this episode, it's going to be from a different sport.
It has to be. I don't know enough. I don't. I physically don't.
For all you Spotify lovers, Kyle literally just slapped himself. Okay.
A couple times.
You're 2 of 3 so far. You're making good progress here. We're going to keep working through our questions, though.
Keep going. Logo.
Team 4, or question number 4. All right, no, this is not the logo question. Sorry. Which team has been in the Stanley Cup Finals over the last 3 years? Each of the last 3 years. Just to clarify, I misworded the question here. A, the Edmonton Oilers. B, the Detroit Red Wings. Or C, the Florida Panthers.
The Panthers.
It is the Panthers. It actually
Y'all know
is.
how I know that?
Hit me with it.
I heard y'all bitching about them the other day and about something.
Carly did give me this question, so that shit checks out.
She was complaining about them and something about, they suck dicks. How dare they?
So, this is actually pretty interesting here. So, because the Panthers have been in it the last 3 consecutive years, the Oilers have been in it the last 2 years. Actually, Florida beat the Edmonton Oilers last year to win the Stanley Cup for like only the second time in their history.
Wow, they're just running it back, huh?
Yeah, they did. They actually beat the Oilers last year to win it. And so now we're like literally just running back the playoff series here.
Man, imagine losing to the Panthers.
Oh, dude, easiest year to win it, right? Of course.
Oh, yeah, man, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, every time I see the Panthers play and I see Bryce Young drop back, I'm like, man.
Oh, my God. I hate you so
Panthers.
much.
My bad.
All right, Kyle's 3 of 4. Now, this is a fucking logo shot. And if you get this right, it's pure bullshit, okay?
By the way, you're comparing it to another sport as you said something about me. You're like, we're going from the logo.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle.
No logo on the ice, I don't think. Is there? Let me know. I have no idea.
I think so, in the middle. Or no, that's just the lines on the ice. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Number 5. When was the last Stanley Cup in Canada? A, 1985, B, 1993, or C, 1995?
95.
Ooh, so close. Tell him what we have for him, Johnny. It was 93. Yes. Yeah.
I knew it wasn't in the 80s. I knew it was sooner than that.
No, the Stanley Cup was in Canada in 1993 last. All right. Kyle's 3 of 5. He's only got to get 4 more right. Now, we're going to dive into that question just a little bit more. Which team in Canada won the Stanley Cup last? A, the Montreal Canadiens, B, the Edmonton Oilers, or C, the Toronto Maple Leafs?
The Canadiens.
Yes. Actually, yes. The Canadiens beat the LA Kings in 1993 to bring it back to Canada for the last time.
They have like 23 Stanley Cup championships. I'm just playing the odds there. But
I mean, to be fair, I didn't know that. I did not know that was them. So, I mean, listen, you know more about hockey than I do, I think.
I think you're right.
Well, I think we're at there. I think you know more about hockey history than I do. Maybe I know more about current hockey because I watch it all the time.
I don't know anything about current hockey.
I know too much about current hockey. My wife
I don't
talks
think my
about
favorite player even plays anymore, so I definitely don't care.
Okay. Interesting. All right, so what? You've got 4 out of 6 right so far?
If that was a question.
Yeah, no, dude, it was. Yeah, you're crushing it, dude. You've only got to get 3 more right, and we've got like 5 questions left. You're in there like swimwear, bro.
Like swimwear.
Question number 7.
If I get 8 out of 10, so you have to post your nudes in the comments below. Go ahead. Zach will respond. Go ahead.
The fuck? Anyway, question number 7. What goalie has the most saves in NFL history? A.
NHL.
What did I say?
NFL.
God damn it, we still got the wrong sport. In NHL history. 1. Martin Brodeur. 2. Jose Soros. C. Curtis Joseph.
That last one's not even real. I need to hear the first 2 names again.
Martin Brodeur and Jose Soros.
A.
No.
Brodeur.
No.
Yeah.
I actually pulled him from a different hockey quiz because he was a goalie on another question. It is Jose Saros. Jose Saros is currently the goaltender for the Nashville Predators and is still playing. Yeah, and he has the most NHL saves in history with 1,167.
How old is this guy?
He looked pretty old in the picture. I didn't write down how old he is. Hang on, let's look and see. Jose Saros. How old is Jose? Oh, there it is. He's 30. Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Hockey's not kind to y'all.
Wow. Now,
but y'all keep telling me how you want to play it.
He does not look that old in this picture I'm looking at here. No, he looks like he's 12 in this picture. How is he the all-time leader if he's 30? Anyway.
He's either better than everybody else or...
that's crazy. Anyway, that's wild to me. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. It's 1,672 saves is what it is. Not 1,100. It's 1,672 saves.
I was hoping for like a Corey Price or Carey Price. I don't remember what his name is.
Yeah, Carey Price. Yeah. I only know him because Carly talks about him.
Does he still play?
I think so. We'll have to ask her sometime, but I think so. I think she was talking about him today.
He was the goalie in that game I played 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
I mean, dude, listen, what's his name? The guy that just broke the all-time scoring record is old as shit. He's like 45.
Ovechkin?
Yeah, dude, I mean, bro's old. Okay. 4 questions left. You need what, 3? You need 3. All right. Which player has won the most Stanley Cups of any player in history? We have Henry Richard, Steve Yzerman, and Wayne Gretzky.
I have to say Wayne Gretzky because I don't know anybody else.
It is not Wayne Gretzky. I put him on there as a trap, and it worked. Hook, line, and sinker.
That changed my guess to how many questions I'm going to get right.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. You're doing better than I thought you would be. Like, dude, I wouldn't have
gotten it. That's going to be rules, not history.
No, God, no. I just thought it was like history. Dude, I don't know shit about hockey rules. Like, get into a fight, get in the box. So the answer is actually Henry Richard. He won 11 Stanley Cups between 1955 and 1975.
Bro, okay. I want to... So he's Bill Russell.
Yep.
Maybe Ovechkin is the best player of all time.
Listen, I picked some of these questions because I knew there was 0% you would get this shit right. This episode is really just me trolling Kyle with NHL questions.
That's okay. Next week is baseball. That's fine.
I'm super cooked next week.
It's coming back around. And it's not that Zach doesn't even know anything about baseball. It's just I'm a nerd. It's my favorite sport.
I was like, I feel like I know a little bit about baseball. This is kind of like the moment where, I can't remember his name, where he said, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me. Like, that's how I feel about your baseball knowledge versus, my baseball knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. If you get this one right, I'd be very impressed. Which player, this is question number 9, by the way. Which player has the most overtime game-winning goals in the playoffs? A, Daryl Sittler. B, Joe Sakic, or Sakic, I don't know. C, Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby.
It is Joe Sakic. What an interesting name. He has scored 7 game-winning goals in overtime, earning the nickname for him Captain Clutch over the course of his career. I learned a lot about hockey today Googling these questions for our episode. I feel
only 7 game-winning OTs? Only 7?
The fuck?
Is that among current players or is that all time?
No, all time. That's all time. 7 game winners in OT? Dude, some players don't score 7 goals in a fucking season.
That's because they suck.
Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. Kyle's out.
Or they're defenders, which makes sense.
I guess that does make sense. Okay.
Or they're a goalie and they still score 3 and you're like, how'd they do that? And you're confused.
Speaking of goalies, we're going to take it into a fun one here. I had to look this one up. This was not on the quiz just because I thought it was cool. Which goalie was the first ever to score a goal? A, Billy Smith, B, Ron Hextall, or C, Dominic Hasek?
It's, Say those names to me one more time.
A. Billy Smith, B. Ron Hextall, or C. Dominic Hasek.
That last one.
No, it's Billy Smith. Billy Smith was the first goalie to ever score a goal.
Bro, what listen, shout out to Billy Smith, bro, respectfully. Like, how do you end up with that fucking name? Like, that's like Johnny Appleseed at gmail.com. Like, that's the create a character name. That's the default one they give you.
It's the most basic name in the world. You want to hear how he was the first goalie to ever score a goal?
I'd wager somebody pulled a goalie and he yeeted a puck down the ice.
Actually, not what happened. In 1979, Billy Smith was credited with a goal when the other team scored into their own net and the refs delayed calling a penalty.
That's fucking interesting.
It's pretty cool, right? So he was the last person before the other team to hit it, and they accidentally knocked it in off of a delayed penalty call. And he was the first goalie to ever score in the NHL.
Yeah, but like you score on a technicality, not because
they don't ask how, they ask how much.
How. You actually asked me if I wanted to know how, actually, specifically.
How much? Your mom.
Give me next question.
All right. Question 11. This is our last question. I actually asked Carly this question before our stream, and she did not know it, which is funny because I have some lore for you after this. Which player is the only player to score 5 goals in 5 different ways in one game? A. Wayne Gretzky, B. Paul Coffey, or C. Mario Lemieux? I'm going to give you a hint. Gretzky's a trap. It's not Gretzky.
So here's what I was literally about to say. Okay, if you put Gretzky on here again, it's not a fucking trap this time. I'm gonna kick your ass.
No, it is a trap, 100%. So it's Paul Coffey or Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux.
Yes, it is Mario Lemieux. Yes, my man. Take the guy with the weird French name and fucking rack that shit up. Absolutely.
That's me jerking 2 dicks at the same time.
Okay, so Carly actually got that wrong. Now, I didn't even give her any name. She just guessed in the dark and got it wrong. But in 1988, by the way, this is the only player in NHL history to ever do this in one game, ever.
Okay.
1988 for the Pittsburgh Penguins, which is what made this fun because Carly's such a big Penguins fan. Mario Lemieux scored an even strength goal, which is when both teams have all 6 of their players on the ice. He scored a power play goal, which is when they're up a player. He scored a shorthanded goal, which is when they're down a player. I just have all this written down. You probably know this, but I have it all written down. He scored a penalty shot goal. Like, I guess something happened and there was a penalty shot. And then he scored on a completely open net.
Nice.
It is the only player in NHL history to score all 5 different ways in one game.
That's kind of cool.
I thought it was pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty neat thing. Like, I don't know. I'm actually saying
a couple of those are like whatever, right? Like even powered, cool, but it happens all the time, right?
Sure, yeah.
While you're on a power play, I thought it was gonna be like on a power play, on a double power play, like 2 people are out.
Sure.
No, but like shorthanded, pretty cool.
Right? Yeah.
Penalty shot, not easy, right? So
Let me tell you what my ego says about penalty shots.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I watch soccer, like transitioning to a different sport. I watch soccer and I'm like, I could have made that. And I definitely could not have made that in any capacity.
I could have.
See,
absolutely.
And that's what I tell myself. Like Carly and I are watching hockey and I'm like, I could have hit that shit. And you're talking to the guy who literally got drunk at the golf course yesterday and like could barely walk home. Like, awful.
I think I would be fantastic at hockey. 2 issues. 1, I can't skate. I don't have the ankles for skating.
Hang on. Before you say anything else, somebody, I'm going to clip this shit later. My man just said I would be great at hockey, but 1 issue, I can't skate.
Can't skate well.
Bro.
It's not that I can't skate, it's that my ankles would fucking die really easy. Okay. I'd be like 3rd or 4th row. Right?
Okay, fair enough.
But like, the part where you're like, oh man, I go to a hockey game, I go to a boxing match, and a hockey game breaks out.
Yeah, exactly. It's my favorite part.
You'd only get 1 or 2 plays out of me, but let me. I'm just full speed and I'm just running through a motherfucker.
I would love to see that.
I'm the Marshawn Lynch,
You
and
know,
I'm going to be thrown out immediately because as big as I am, they just don't come that size in a hockey rink, which is why I would die very quickly.
If you told me that you were going to suit up in hockey and you were going to play a game and just try to kill somebody on the hockey rink, I would buy tickets for the whole fucking family. Mine, yours, everybody, just to see that shit because I would love to see that.
I would be so upset when I miss though, and then I just fucking slam into the board. I'd be so mad. But like, and I've thrown hands off. I've never thrown hands on ice, so I don't know how well I do. But I'd have to imagine I'm better.
Completely different, obstacle. Like, you have to not only be standing there, but you have to skate on the ice and fight somebody.
But I will say, almost every single fight I see in hockey, I'm sitting there, and again, a guy who's gotten into a handful of fights in high school, right? I'm not inexperienced. I'm sitting here watching these guys fight and trying to like pull each other's shirts and and I'm like, you fucking pussies, just put your fucking hand in that guy's nose, just break his nose. Just what are we doing? And then they like tumble over each other. They like hug a little bit,
yeah,
like like in boxing. And then I'm like, oh my god, bite his ear.
Oh, dude. One of my favorite things, and you probably hate it, is when they take each other's gloves and they rub them in their faces when they start fighting. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Bro, it makes me laugh so hard. Carly says it's very insulting. Carly says it's very insulting. Like, if you do it to somebody else, it's like the ultimate form of disrespect.
You know what's going to be insulting? Me putting my nuts in your forehead after I put you on the ice. Say hi to your mama for me.
Oh my god. All right. I have one follow-up question. Carly asked me to ask you this question specifically. So keep this in mind. How many countries in the world only have one player representing them in the NHL? So you got to keep in mind, it's only one player that represents that country. 5, 6, or 7. We're going to edit you saying 3 out. It's
5.
6. It's 6. It's 6. One of the countries is called Slovenia or Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Yeah, never heard of it. Never heard of this country before. But
I sold a car to some guys from Slovenia.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I
long
guessed,
time ago when I was younger.
I guessed Russia when Carly asked me this question, and she looked at me like I was
fucking
stupid.
A lot of motherfuckers from Russia.
Yeah,
a lot of motherfuckers from Russia.
Yep, that's exactly what she said too. That's exactly what she said too.
Buddy, Canada and Russia. That's
yeah.
They crawl out the womb out of the ice. I mean,
one that did surprise me: the United Kingdom only has one.
I'm not surprised. British are some pussies. Quote me.
France only has one.
What a surprise! Same thing. Go.
All right, man. What are your hot takes about hockey before we get out of here?
Hot takes. All right, so I'm gonna give you 2.
Okay, hit me with it.
One, hockey is nonsense. Letting people fight on the ice and having a rule if somebody bleeds is stupid. I don't even care if you let somebody tussle a little bit, but like there's like a limit to like you're letting people drop gloves and the refs are gathering around and it's like in high school. It's dumb. As a sports fanatic, dumb.
Okay.
Right. Take 2. And this is not hockey specific, but I'm going to choose the hockey episode to say this.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this about a lot of people, except for baseball, because I'm a baseball purist.
Okay.
And so that's going to be biased. The player that you guys loved from the 80s and the 90s in every sport is not the greatest player ever. No matter who you think it is. Now ask me why.
I don't want to. No.
It's because they were all playing fucking plumbers.
Okay. That's just not true.
The rate of competition is definitely lower though. And that's across the board.
In the 50s, you could convince me of that. In the 80s and 90s, no. But come on, dude.
That's good, but that's your bias though. Right? Like
no, take basketball out of it, dude. Take basketball out of it.
You
Like,
think you could put Gretzky in the ring now and he would be by far the most dominant player?
not now. He's like fucking 70. Doesn't make any sense.
He sounds like a Jordan fan.
I'm not gonna say he's would dominate, but like, dude, come on. Like,
well, if he wouldn't, I'm not saying they couldn't hang because anybody can hang. I think if you brought Wilt Chamberlain back, I think he could hang because he motherfucker was 7'2" and was huge and he was strong. Right?
I mean, I still think he'd be good. I still think, like, honestly, he'd be one of the best centers in the game right now.
Best centers or best players?
If you put Wilt in the game, he's one of the best centers. We're now at a point you can't just say best players short of like LeBron or Kobe.
I'm talking about hockey. I'm talking about hockey. So if you brought Gretzky back, if you're telling me he's like not almost negotiably like the best player when you bring him back, then he's not the best player.
I don't know enough about Wayne Gretzky from like back then. Like I don't know.
And I think, and I'm not saying Wilt Chamberlain couldn't hang, but like, and again, this is coming a baseball purist. If Paul Skeens was throwing Babe Ruth a fastball, he's not seeing the bitch. And I love Babe Ruth. He's not seeing it.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Jordan pushed off. Guy's nickname's literally the mailman, and that's who he's beating. Oh, he beat the mailman. My dog beats the mailman every day. It's not that hard.
His name was the mailman because he blocked shots all the time. He sent that shit packing. Your context clues. Yeah, okay. Context clues. Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just
all
saying.
Right, your mom. My hot take is that there's not enough fights in hockey. No, I'm just kidding. I think that would be ridiculous. My hot take is that the NHL games are too hard.
Too hard to what?
To play. They're not user-friendly enough. Like the NHL video games, they're not user-friendly enough for people who don't love hockey.
You know?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Actually, I have a different hot take. I want to add another one.
All right, throw another one on there. Fuck it.
And this I remember from, again, when I dated a girl whose dad was a hockey coach. Hockey is too expensive to get into. And that's why there's not a broader appeal there.
Aren't all things, though?
No.
Like, what's something that's not that expensive to get into?
How much do you charge for football? They give you pads and shit.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, in baseball, what do you do? Buying a bat? How much does it cost you to buy a baseball?
So are you saying on like a leisure level? Like as a child on a casual level?
Yeah.
Or like competitive? Because if we're saying competitive, then I don't think that stands. But if you're saying casual, sure, I'm here for that.
I'm saying casual.
Okay, yeah. I'm here for that.
I'm saying to make the sport more popular, like I could go buy Riot a baseball bat and a glove for $50, $60, $70. Or I could go buy him some hockey gear for $200.
It's probably more than that. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, on a casual level, I completely agree. Other sports are just way easier to afford and buy into.
Buddy, I still need a knee brace when I play basketball. And I could go get myself a knee brace and a basketball for cheaper than I could hockey equipment.
That's fair. That's valid. You can probably get a pretty nice knee brace for less than you get hockey
Very
equipment.
nice knee brace.
I was like, pretty damn nice one.
A nicer knee brace than what I need for what's left of my knee.
That I understand as well. Oh.
So that's it. Needs to be cheaper.
All right. I'm here for it. I actually like that. That's a pretty good hot take. Guys, let us know in the comments what you all think about hockey. Your all's hot takes, NHL. If you guys know more about hockey, throw it in the comments. Tell us we're wrong. It doesn't bother us. I mean, we'll argue with you, but like we're just going to gaslight you. It's fine. But we're here for it anyway.
That's right. Gaslight them.
Guys, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, and we will see you guys next week. Take it easy, guys.